I score over 700 in every mock exam. But when the Gaokao results came out, I only got one single point. Mom went crazy. My little sister lost her mind. But I just smiled. In my past life, my sister used a score swap system. To swap our Gaokao scores, Tsinghua and Peking University fought to recruit her effortlessly. But me, the top student of the whole grade, only got admitted to a vocational school, and even had my student status revoked by my high school. My sister even came to comfort me. Sis, all factories are short of workers right now. Tightening screws in a factory is way nicer than you think. This lifetime in the Gaokao exam room, I slept through the whole test. You want to swap, right? Then let's swap for good. Congratulations on binding the life swap system. Please select the target you want to swap with. My older sister Lin Momo, what do you want to swap with her? Gaokao scores. I was standing outside the door, not surprised at all, when I heard my own name. Inside the room, my dear little sister Lin Meow Meow was overjoyed that she could swap Gaokao scores with me via the system. After all, I ranked first in every exam throughout high school. I'm an undoubted straight A top student. In several citywide mock exams in senior year, I scored over 700 every time. I was the only one who could solve all the hard problems in math and comprehensive science exam. None of my classmates were my match long ago. My goal was to get into the top majors at Tsinghua and Peking University. But my sister Lin Meow Meow is definitely not made for studying. Sometimes her total score for 7 subjects was even lower than my score for one single subject. Mom was super worried about her grades, so she asked me to tutor her. I used to spend tons of time tutoring my sister. I even gave up my own review time to make error collections for her, but it barely worked at all. She can't handle the hardship of studying. She complains about being tired after studying for just a few minutes, and acts cute to make me let her off the hook. Sis Momo, is there any easy way that I don't have to study, but still get the same high score as you in Gaokao? Back then I laughed and said she was just daydreaming. I never expected a system would fall from the sky, and actually granted her this silly wish. In my past life, my sister bound the life swap system and swapped away my Gaokao score. The 723 score made her the city's top scorer immediately. She not only got school-level and city-level scholarships, but also made the headlines of local news, and even made admission officers from Tsinghua and Peking University fight over her. I, on the other hand, got her score, 213 points. That was even an above-expectation score for her. But for me, it was the end of the world. I flipped through the whole enrollment handbook and found I could only go to vocational schools in the far suburbs. My alma mater, which had always taken pride in me, because my score was too low, revoked my student status directly. Mom was too embarrassed to mention me in front of relatives and friends, and she was never nice to me at home either. Overnight, I turned from the model kid all parents praised to a laughingstock that everyone made fun of. Someone even reported me to the principal, suspecting all my 3 years' grades were fake. The day the school teachers thoroughly investigated my high school grades, I jumped off the tall school building. I died on the spot. After I died, the school thought I brought bad luck and removed my name from the school register directly. Mom also thought I disgraced her too much and only told others she had only one daughter, Lin Meow Meow. After I was reborn, I knew all of this was the trick of Lin Meow Meow and that system, but the system had its own conditions too. It asked Lin Meow Meow, "For this swap, what are you willing to sacrifice?" "I'm willing to sacrifice 10 years of my lifespan." Lin Meow Meow's voice was trembling with excitement. I chuckled softly outside the door. "Oh, little sister, since you're willing to trade 10 years of your life for my grades, then I definitely need to do well in the exam, don't I?" I was watching videos in my room when someone knocked on my door. Lin Meow Meow poked her head inside, stuck out her tongue, and acted cute at me. "Sis Momo, are you reviewing your lessons?" Mom asked me to bring you some fruit. She put the fruit plate on the table, only to find I wasn't studying at all. She panicked a little and scolded me loudly. "Sis, the Gaokao is only half a month away. How can you still be watching variety shows here?" I took off my headphones and asked back, "Why can't I?" Lin Meow Meow forced a smile. "Sure, of course you can. Studying is all about combining work and rest anyway. But sis, you better stay clear-headed. Don't get distracted by this stuff." Her face looked so ugly at that moment. The so-called bringing fruit was just an excuse to spy on me. She traded 10 years of her lifespan for my Gaokao score. So of course she had to make sure I got a high score. Sis, stop watching soon and go study, okay? I'm afraid Mom will scold you if she finds out. I ignored her completely. She lowered her head and left on her own. Not long after Lin Meow Meow left, Mom came into my room. She sighed. She sounded a little annoyed at me. Meow Meow was just worried about you. You're her older sister. Why were you so mean to her? I was totally confused. Mean? When was I ever mean to her? Thinking back to what just happened, I only said 3 words to her. Mom quickly waved her hands. Nothing. Just pretend I didn't say that. She saw I was watching videos and couldn't help nagging. What time is it already? You're still watching this silly nonsense. Turn it off right now. Besides, you have time to watch videos here. Why not spare some time? To tutor Meow Meow. Aren't her grades important too? Seeing I stayed silent, Mom just reached out straight away and snatched my tablet away. Why are you being so disobedient, kid? Even though Meow Meow isn't your real sister, we're still family, right? At the end of the day, our family owes her. You have to help her. We owe her, so you must help her. I never thought that way at all. Lin Meow Meow is the daughter of my late dad's good friend. My dad was driving Lin Meow Meow's parents when they got into a crash on the highway. All 3 of them died. Mom adopted Lin Meow Meow. She always thinks our family ruined Lin Meow Meow's family. Out of guilt. Mom gives her everything she asks for. Sometimes she treats her better than me, her own biological daughter. Mom always says, what happened to Meow Meow is all our family's fault. We have to make it up to her. In my past life, I was brainwashed by Mom's idea and thought I should treat Lin Meow Meow like my real sister. At school, I protected her. If anyone said a bad word about her, I'd roll up my sleeves and fight them right away. At home, I gave her all the nice things I had. If she liked my new clothes, I'd give them to her without hesitation. I thought this would make her feel the warmth of family. But looking at it now, we're exactly the farmer and the snake. And Mr. Dongguo and the wolf, Mom. I take time to tutor her every single day. She just doesn't want to study. What am I supposed to do? Mom frowned. That's not how it works. Even if she doesn't want to study, just find better ways to teach her. She'll definitely be able to learn. Stop watching videos here. Hurry up and go help your sister. I should have noticed this long ago. Mom's favoritism towards Lin Meow Meow was already at a sick, obsessive level. Soon it was the day of the Gaokao. Lin Meow Meow came to wake me up early in the morning to check all my exam documents. She even checked if I had spare pencil leads. 3 times to make sure I had enough. When Mom saw this scene, she was super moved. Mama, look how nice your sister is to you. She hasn't even packed her own stuff yet. Her whole attention is all on you, her older sister. Lin Meow Meow lowered her head, her face all red. Mom, this is what I should do? Sis is so good at studying. She'll definitely get really high scores. Her few words made Mom so moved she almost cried. She hugged and kissed her repeatedly. Meow Meow, you're such a good girl. You're my pride too. Mom, I'm not that good. At least I'm not as good as Sister Moo Moo. My grades are too bad. Unlike Sis, who's always top of the grade. Mom hugged her and stroked her head. Oh, Moo Moo only has slightly better grades. She's worse than you and everything else. You're kind and thoughtful. Just like a sweet little comfort to me. Sometimes I really think you're my biological daughter. I've been Mom's biological daughter for over 10 years. But in the end, I'm not as considerate as a non-biological daughter. I shook my head and laughed. Turned around and walked out to enter the exam hall. Lin Meow Meow's voice came from behind me. Sister Moo Moo, make sure you do well on the exam. Of course I'll do well. Just for my dear little sister. I yawned really big in the exam room, then laid on the desk to sleep under everyone's shocked stares. I stayed up too late binging variety shows these days. I was really sleepy. In my past life, to get good grades, forget watching variety shows. I didn't even watch TV. I was a teen at the age where all you want to do is have fun. Yet I forced myself to become a study machine. I wanted to make Mom proud. I wanted to be the daughter she could show off to others. Who knew I'd end up doing all the work for someone else's gain? In this lifetime, I'm totally cutting loose, you know? This feeling is actually so damn good. I was halfway through my nap when the invigilator shook me awake. He whispered worriedly, "Hey, student. This is the Gaokao exam hall." I nodded to show I got it. He saw I still wasn't going to start writing. So he gently reminded me again, Can you at least write something? Besides your name and exam number, I listened to him, sat up and flipped open my test paper. It was the math exam, by the way. I solemnly wrote the word solve next to the big problems. I got sleepy again right after writing that, and passed out again immediately. I heard the invigilator sigh. I even heard other test takers gasp in shock. The day the scores came out, Lin Meow Meow was way more nervous than I was. Ever since the exam ended, she'd been trying to find out how I did. She even asked my head teacher about my estimated score. When she heard I estimated 700 points, she heaved a huge sigh of relief. But today was the most important day. She didn't even want to check her own score. She just sat diagonally behind me waiting to see mine. I asked her, Meow Meow, how'd you do on the exam? Not bad, I wrote something for every question. I nodded, good for you. The better she did, the higher my score would be. At 12 o'clock sharp, I entered my exam admission number. The moment the score appeared on the computer screen, Lin Meow Meow jumped out of her chair in shock. 1 point? You only got 1 point? I looked at that lonely single point and laughed. So that senior girl really did give me points, huh? Wrong, this is all wrong. There's no way you only got 1 point. Lin Meow Meow, who was still bouncing with shock, was about to break down. She paced back and forth, yanking hard at her own hair. She checked my score over and over, unwilling to accept it. No matter how she looked at it, it was just the plain number 1. My mom was also shocked. She stammered, Mumu, is this really your score? I nodded. Yeah, I'm always first place. I want to try being last place for once. Lin Mumu, are you crazy? Lin Meow Meow couldn't hold back and yelled at me. This is the Gaokao, the big exam that decides your whole future. Didn't you say you estimated 700 points? What the hell is this 1 point about? Her screaming even shocked my mom. It was the first time my mom had seen someone so hysterical. And see Lin Meow Meow drop her nice girl act. I raised an eyebrow and asked her, I never told anyone my estimated score. How did you know that? Lin Meow Meow was left speechless immediately. She opened her mouth, stuttering I for ages, but couldn't get a single sentence out. Right at that moment, my mom suddenly pointed at Lin Meow Meow's face and gasped. Lin Meow Meow immediately covered her face and ran straight into the bathroom. Right after that, her blood-curdling scream came from the bathroom. At the same time, the score on my computer quietly changed to a different number. The swap was done. On the computer screen, my score had changed to 213 points. Lin Meow Meow also came rushing out of the bathroom. The skin on her face had gone saggy, and lots of age spots had popped up on her cheeks. She also suddenly had 2 extra necklines. She'd lost 10 years of her lifespan, so she went from 18 to 28 years old in an instant. At the same time, Lin Meow Meow's phone also got a notification text. My mom took one look at it and was totally shocked. Meow Meow, why did you also get 1 point? When Lin Meow Meow heard that, she snatched the phone right away. I corrected my mom. I didn't get 1 point, okay? I got over 200 points. My mom leaned in to look at the computer screen and saw my 1 point had turned into 213. She rubbed her eyes and said in disbelief, What on earth is going on here? I shrugged, no idea. Probably just a system glitch. Lin Meow Meow suddenly screamed and slammed her phone hard onto the floor. Her eyes were bloodshot, and she looked at me like she wanted to eat me alive. Lin Momo, you did this to me. You're trying to kill me. I blinked innocently. Meow Meow, what are you talking about? I don't get it. Lin Meow Meow pointed at me, her finger shaking with rage. But she couldn't tell anyone she swapped our scores, so she had to swallow her anger and keep quiet. I will never let you get away with this. Lin Meow Meow spat out those harsh words and ran out of the house with that 28-year-old looking face. Meow Meow. Mom was totally freaked out, chased after her yelling her name. She couldn't catch up with Lin Meow Meow, then turned around to blame me. What did you do to Meow Meow? Why did she suddenly act like that? She didn't even care that I scored over 200 points and kept urging me, Go check on your little sister right now. If anything happens to her, I won't be able to live on either. After I swapped scores with Lin Meow Meow, I became the laughingstock of the whole school. The day I went back to school, the teachers sighed and shook their heads at me. My classmates whispered behind my back and laughed at me like crazy. Lin Mumu used to be so arrogant and looked down on everyone else. Well, look at him now. He got too cocky, didn't he? He only scored around 200 points. He went from first place in the grade to dead last. How dare he call himself a top student? Did he lie to us this whole time? What if his previous grades were fake? Even a bad performance wouldn't make him lose 500 points, right? Just like in my past life. Rumors came at me like a heavy rainstorm, but this time I was fully prepared for everything. The principal sighed over and over in front of me, saying they'd received a lot of reports from students, claiming my grades from the past 3 years were fake, and they wanted to check my exam papers. I shrugged my shoulders and didn't care at all. Go ahead, check my grades. There's nothing wrong with them at all. For the final question on several mock exams, even the teachers couldn't solve it. I was the only one who got it right. That can't be faked. But this result made them even more frustrated. The principal was so anxious he slapped his thigh. What on earth were you thinking during the college entrance exam? I contacted the invigilators from your exam room. They said you didn't even try to answer the questions properly. You just slept through the whole exam. Are you out of your damn mind? That's the college entrance exam we're talking about. You're ruining your own future like this. No one can help you now. When I left the principal's office, I saw my head teacher, who was always the nicest to me, also shook his head and sighed as he walked away. He didn't even want to come over and say 2 words to me. Fair enough, I really let him down way too much. When I got home, Mom wouldn't stop nagging and blaming me. She cried and yelled while wiping her tears. Meow Meow only scored 1 point. You're the most responsible for this. If you'd paid a little more attention to her, she wouldn't have scored such a terrible grade. You failing the college entrance exam is God's punishment for you. It's your karma. You deserve it. Lin Meow Meow stayed away from home for days out of anger. Mom blamed everything on me. I took out the college admissions brochure, wanting to go over college application choices with her. She slapped the brochure out of my hand immediately. Your little sister is missing, and you're here worrying about your college applications. Do you even have a heart? I picked up the brochure with a blank face. Mom, she's not missing. She just posted on her WeChat moments a minute ago. She's just pretending to be fine. So we won't worry too much about her, Lin Moo Moo. How can you be so cold and heartless? That's your little sister we're talking about. How can you not care about her at all? Mom pointed at the door and gave me an ultimatum. Go out and look for her right now. If you can't find her, don't bother coming back. I looked at the pouring rain outside the window, then glanced at Lin Meow Meow's WeChat moments where she was living a peaceful, nice life. Fine, I'll go look for her. I walked around in the heavy rain. Unsurprisingly, I got sick. I was so sick that I even missed the college application deadline. Mom was mad I didn't bring her back and didn't want to take care of me. She went out to look for her herself. My best friend Shuang Shuang came to visit me at home. When she saw me weak from the fever, she was so heartbroken she cried nonstop. What are we gonna do, Mumu? You can't even get into a vocational school now. Once the college application system closes, no one can open it again, not even God. While I was out cold from the fever, no one even reminded me about the college application, which was such a big deal. I forced a smile. Who said I'm going to a vocational school? That garbage score Lin Meow Meow got. Why should I go to school for that? Shuang Shuang was totally confused. I whispered a few words in her ear. Her eyes immediately lit up. Great, that's way better than going to a vocational school. At the same time, she also brought me a huge bombshell news. Lin Meow Meow is famous now. She's become an internet celebrity, all because she scored 1 point on the exam. This year, the authorities banned media from interviewing the top scorers. Reporters were stressing out because they had no material to write about. Suddenly, they heard someone from our school scored 1 point. Getting a 0 on the college entrance exam is common. Getting a high score is common too. But getting exactly 1 point is super rare. They grabbed their gear right away and went to find Lin Meow Meow, facing the camera. Lin Meow Meow was pretty unwilling at first, but she suddenly agreed to the interview later. When the reporter asked how on earth she got that 1 point, Lin Meow Meow looked down and smiled. I didn't expect it either. The senior grader actually gave me points. This silly, cute high school girl, looking shy and flustered in front of the camera, plus her record of scoring only 1 point, got tons of attention. This exact clip was posted on Douyin later, went viral immediately. In less than half a day, its views hit over 10 million. Netizens didn't believe she only scored 1 point at first. They thought it was just a hype stunt. Lin Meow Meow immediately created accounts on all major social media platforms. She posted her score sheet online with the caption, "No lie, I really got 1 point." Netizens found this hilarious. There really is someone who scores 1 point. Lin Meow Meow then posted another video. In front of the camera, she was counting her toes looking all wronged. I actually tried really hard, you know. I answered every single multiple choice question. Who knew I'd only end up with 1 point? But this also proves that for math, problems writing solution really gives you points. I recommend everyone write solution first for every big question. You can actually get extra points that way. She filled out the whole paper and only got 1 point. She's literally a once-in-a-lifetime genius. All kinds of memes about Lin Meow Meow popped up soon after. I really didn't mean to get 1 point. Someone actually avoided all correct answers perfectly. The 1 point exam queen teaches you how to get points on tests. In just 3 days, Lin Meow Meow gained hundreds of thousands of followers across the internet. The persona she created for herself is a hardworking but useless silly sweetheart. High school graduate. She cashed in on the 1 point gimmick to gain views and followers like crazy. After Shuang Shuang showed me Lin Meow Meow's accounts, she was really worried about how I was feeling. Moo Lin Meow Meow doesn't even need to go to college now. She can get financial freedom with these followers alone. Who knew scoring 1 point would be such a good thing? Right as we were talking, a new notification popped up. Donghu Private University has invited the 1 point goddess to enroll. Tuition free. Shuang Shuang was totally shocked. That's insane. Why would Donghu University even invite her to study there for free? I laughed. Other people don't know the truth, but I do. Lin Meow Meow went back home, full of pride and glory. She's a super popular influencer on Douyin now. Her college spot is also secured. Just waiting for the acceptance letter to arrive. My mom was so happy her eyes crinkled into slits. She told everyone she met what a great daughter she had. As for me, I was long forgotten. When it was almost time to send out acceptance letters, my mom booked the best hotel in the city for Lin Meow Meow's entrance banquet. The guests included not only family and friends, but also teachers and classmates from school. Lin Meow Meow is now a legend at the school. Lots of younger students came over to ask for her autograph. Right before the banquet started at noon, Lin Meow Meow waved at me and called me into the bathroom. Lin Momo, put all these things away for me. She pointed at the piles of cosmetics on the sink and said, because she swapped scores with me. Her face now looks like she's 28 years old. To look young and pretty, she had to slather all kinds of makeup on her face like crazy. Seeing me obediently pack her things, Lin Meow Meow sneered. Lin Momo, look how pathetic you are now. The grades you were so proud of are gone. Your dream of going to a good university is shattered. And look at this entrance banquet your mom prepared for me today. She's practically spending all your family's savings on it. You have literally nothing left. I stopped what I was doing, looked up and smiled. What about you? How much stuff do you have left? Lin Meow Meow's face fell. What do you mean? You swapped for those hundreds of thousands of followers too, right? I remember when you were hanging out online before you met a big influencer. I saw his follower count drop like crazy these past 2 days. You swapped all his followers to your account, didn't you? Lin Meow Meow's face went pale. She stopped putting on her blush. I continued. Where did you swap the Donghu Private University acceptance letter from? You must have paid a huge price for that, right? Lin Meow Meow narrowed her eyes and questioned me in a low voice. How did you find out? Of course I know. 'Cause the very first day I was reborn, I had already made tons of preparations. One of the things I did was install a tiny bug inside her bedroom. All her conversations with the system, all the items she exchanged. I know every single one of them. Seeing me smile without saying a word, Lin Meow Meow squeezed out a stiff fake smile onto her face. Lin Momo, you're so smart. Do you know I'm gonna take away the most important thing you have? I frowned. What thing? Lin Meow Meow's grin grew wider. I'm gonna take your identity and take everything from you. The entrance banquet officially started. The MC on stage stood between my mom and Lin Meow Meow, talking about the touching bond between the mother and daughter. My mom said through tears, the proudest thing in my whole life is having such a good daughter like Meow Meow. I suddenly snapped back to my senses. What Lin Meow Meow wanted to take was my identity as the biological daughter, She wanted to replace me as my mom's daughter. Lin Meow Meow on stage also cried, "Mom, you've always been my favorite mother." The two of them hugged each other. Thunderous applause broke out from the audience. It was like everyone forgot that my mom's real daughter is me. Hey guys, I'm live streaming today to bring you all to the recently popular Full Mark Goddesses entrance banquet. Hit the follow and like buttons, everyone. A streamer was holding up his phone, pointing at Lin Meow Meow. I recognized him. He's the influencer whose follower count Lin Meow Meow stole. Since Lin Meow Meow was super popular recently, a ton of people flooded into the influencer's live room, and his follower count kept skyrocketing. I noticed when the influencer gained followers, Lin Meow Meow was losing followers nonstop. Looks like the things that were stolen still have a chance to be taken back. Lin Meow Meow on stage suddenly held up the mic and said, "Honestly, to get where I am today, I owe a lot to my sister Lin Momo. Even though she messed up the college entrance exam and only got a little over 200 points, couldn't get into any college, and has no school to go to now, she's still my best sister forever. Sister Momo, come up and say a few words, okay? Your favorite teachers and beloved classmates are all here. In the banquet hall, thousands of eyes turned to me at once. The streaming influencer even turned the camera right at me. Lin Meow Meow wanted to embarrass me. Sis, tell everyone how you went from 700 points to just over 200. The school put so many resources into you. Your head teacher even put her own kid aside to make extra time to tutor you. With scores like this, what do you have to say to them? Oh, right. And our mom, too. She pinned all her hopes on you. Do you think you deserve her efforts?" Lin Meow Meow's 3 questions made the whole banquet hall go silent instantly. She smiled and pushed me onto the execution stand to be judged by everyone present. The classmates below looked at me with disgust. My head teacher turned her face away. Even my mom curled her lip and refused to look at me. I took the mic from Lin Meow Meow, cleared my throat, and asked, "What about you, Kong Meow Meow? You've lived in our house for free for so many years, and even betrayed us. Do you think you deserve our kindness?" When I called out her real name, Lin Meow Meow's eyes widened instantly. "What are you talking nonsense about? When did I ever betray you? Stop spitting slander at me." I took out my phone and started reading. October 1st. I'm so annoyed today. That old lady from the Lin family is nagging me again, telling me to study hard. Study my ass. I'm not her biological daughter anyway. Why does she care so much about me? That nagging old hag. When will she ever shut up? November 9th. That old lady asked her daughter to tutor me. I pretended I didn't understand. Made her explain one question to me for 2 whole hours. The old lady even blamed her daughter for being bad at teaching. But the whole family are idiots. The old lady cried and apologized to me again, saying she's sorry to my parents and will definitely treat me like her own daughter. Who wants a stupid mom like her? That's so funny. I put down my phone, smiled slightly, and said, "These are all posts you shared on your secret WeChat moments. You thought we'd never find out, but nothing stays a secret forever, right? My mom treats you like her own daughter. She's never skimped on your food, clothes, or any needs all these years. We even held this entrance banquet for you, with her own pension savings. Is this how you repay her?" The whole crowd burst into an uproar after I spoke. The influencer's live stream even broadcast everything in real time to the public. On the live stream, countless netizens started bashing Lin Meow Meow, as Lin Meow Meow lost followers like crazy. The influencer's follower count started skyrocketing back up. He was over the moon. To make the hype even bigger, he yelled out directly on the spot, "I can testify to that, okay? Lin Mumu isn't lying. When Lin Meow Meow hangs out with us normally, that's exactly what she says all the time. You treat her like family, but she doesn't even treat you like human beings." My mom offstage zoned out for a moment and looked like she was slowly coming to her senses. "Meow Meow, is everything your sister just said true?" Lin Meow Meow panicked immediately. "It's all fake. She made it up, Mom." Who are you going to believe, her or me? Seeing Mom start to hesitate again, I walked over and took her phone to call Lin Meow Meow. Lin Meow Meow's phone screen lit up, and the contact note saved was exactly, "Old hag." Then I used my own phone to call Lin Meow Meow. The note she saved for me was, "Old hag's bitch daughter." Mom's body shook violently all of a sudden. and grabbed me tightly beside her. Moo 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 moo. You're my real biological daughter, right? Coming through, make way, please. The delivery guy is here with admission letters. The hotel manager ran up from the first floor with his staff, looking all cheerful and excited. He had no idea what was going on, and said to us excitedly, I just saw the delivery guy dropping off admission letters outside, and I saw Donghu University's name on one of them. So I rushed to bring him up here. Classmate Lin Miao Miao, your admission letter is here. Hearing the admission letter had arrived, a bit of color returned to Lin Miao Miao's deathly pale face. Donghu University is not like other regular universities. It calls itself a university, but none of its students are ordinary high school graduates. They are all top talents who, for various reasons, never got the chance to attend college. They don't have formal academic degrees, but they have impressive credentials and tons of wealth. If you get connections with these people, you're already halfway into the upper-class circle. So being a student at Donghu University is way better than attending an average 985 or 211 university. This was Lin Miao Miao's last hope. She snatched the admission letter from the delivery guy and showed it off to me arrogantly. Lin Mumu, what's the point of all this drama? Exposing me like this won't do anything except make your mom even sadder. It serves no other purpose. See that the outcome between us is already set in stone. I can enroll at Donghu University in September. What about you? I shrugged my shoulders. I'm going to school in September too, duh. Lin Miao Miao laughed. You can fool other people, but don't fool yourself. Go to school. I saw with my own eyes your college application system was blank. What are you going to use to get into school? An admission letter, obviously. What else? I looked at Lin Miao Miao like she was a total idiot. It should arrive in a day or two, probably. The tracking number shows it's already nearby. Lin Miao Miao didn't want to believe me, but she was scared I really did get into a school. She snatched the delivery guy's bag, dumped all the letters on the floor, and rummaged through them one by one. The delivery guy got anxious. Hey, whose package are you looking for? Lin Miao Miao asked him viciously. Do you have one for Lin Mumu? Lin Mumu. The delivery guy thought for a second. Yeah, but it's not on the floor. I have it on me. The delivery guy grinned. Because it's all in English. I can't understand it. So I put it in my small bag on purpose. Lin Miao Miao couldn't wait any longer and snatched that English letter from his hand. She didn't know much English, but there was no school logo on the envelope. So she laughed, knowing it wasn't an admission letter. Lin Mumu, stop putting on an act. This isn't an admission letter at all. Who knows what trash file you got to fool people? I nodded. Yeah, of course this isn't an admission letter. It's my study abroad visa. My admission letter was already submitted to the embassy a long time ago. The second I finished speaking, Lin Miao Miao froze up immediately. I took the letter back from her hand, opened it, pointed at the official seal on it, and said, You can't recognize all English words, right? But the Chinese characters of the embassy and the official seal here, you can definitely understand those, can't you? I got the full scholarship from Oxford a long time ago. I've been waiting for all the paperwork to be finalized this whole time. This admission party today, you can just treat it as it's held for me. Lin Miao Miao stood there totally stunned. She pointed her finger at me, but couldn't come to her senses for ages. Then why did you even take the college entrance exam? I stepped closer to her and whispered softly in her ear. Silly girl, it's all because you wanted to swap scores with me. So yeah, me went to the college entrance exam venue on purpose and scored 1 point just for you. Lin Miao Miao fainted right then. She fainted from anger at me. After she was sent to the hospital for examination, the doctor was totally shocked. She's only 18 years old after all, but all of her bodily functions are at the level of a 40 or 50-year-old person. But my mom didn't care about any of that this time. She quickly rushed back from the hospital to the hotel to keep the admission party going. Except this time, I'm the main character. Moo, how could you hide such a huge thing? Even from your own mom? My mom was laughing and crying at the same time. She stroked my hair, then squeezed my hand tightly. This time, I finally saw in her eyes the love she used to have for me. Mom, I just wanted to give you a surprise, okay? Surprise? I'd say it's more like a bad shock. Even though she was complaining at me, her face was full of affection and worry for me. It's Mom's fault. All these years I kept thinking I had to compensate Kong Miao Miao. and totally ignored how you felt. Moo, can you forgive Mom? Lin Meow Meow's last name wasn't Lin originally, it was Kong. Even though her parents passed away, she still had other relatives who could be her legal guardians. But she chose my mom specifically. When my mom went to pay respects to her parents, she cried and said she was a kid with no mom or dad. My mom was too soft-hearted, so she took her back to our home. Mom, about that car accident, it wasn't Dad's fault. And it wasn't your fault either. It was all the drunk driver's fault. So stop torturing yourself over this, okay? You don't owe Kong Meow Meow anything. Our Lin family doesn't owe her anything. When my mom heard these words, she burst into tears right away. She hugged me and nodded really hard. The news that I got admitted to Oxford completely turned my reputation around. The principal was holding a drink and came over to talk to me with a big smile. Classmate Lin Moo, this is your bad, you know that? You already have one foot in a world top university, and you still went to take the college entrance exam. All the teachers' hearts were on edge the whole time because of you. I smiled. I prepared for it for so long, it'd be a pity not to take it, right? So I just went to sit for it. But I was so sleepy during the exam, I couldn't help falling asleep. The principal patted my shoulder. It's totally fine that you slept. Your health is the most important thing. Come on, let's take a photo together. Later, I'll have someone make a celebration banner for you right away and hang it at our school gate this afternoon. This admission party of mine was glorious and totally perfect. But a lot of people were confused that I already had the Oxford admission letter for so long. Why didn't I tell anyone about it? Because only I knew the truth. If I told anyone earlier, Lin Meow Meow would swap it with me. The fact that I was reborn is a secret. The next time I saw Lin Meow Meow, her body was already really weak. She was lying on the white hospital bedsheet and looked like a little old lady at first glance. She smiled when she saw me come in. Lin Moo, you're here to laugh at me, right? I picked up an apple and started peeling it slowly. She snorted coldly. I already heard all about it. You started preparing to apply for top foreign universities last semester. You hid it for so long and didn't dare tell anyone. Now that you've made it public, aren't you scared I'll swap it with you? I took a loud, crunchy bite of the peeled apple. You can't swap anything anymore. I already knew the secret of the swap system a long time ago. If you fail to swap 3 times, the system will disappear completely, but all the lifespan you paid as the price has to be handed over immediately. I swapped 1 point for your 200 points. You swapped more for less. That's the first failure. You swapped an influencer's fans away, and he snatched them back later. That's the second time. I made my mom come to her senses. Didn't really treat you as their biological daughter. Your swap failed. That's your third failure. Looks like you know everything about me. But you got one thing wrong. Swapping identities with you is actually my first failure. Not long after I moved into your house, I got the swap system. But each swap costs a life, and I was scared. So I never did it. Until later on, I saw how nice your mom was to you. She was nice to me too, sure, but I wasn't her biological kid after all. I thought if only I could swap places with you and be your mom's real daughter. I was stunned. Turns out her swap attempt started years ago, but she never succeeded once. Over these years, your mom treated me better and better, and worse to you, but she had a bottom line in her heart. You were always her daughter no matter what. Lin Moo, you know what I envy most about you. It's not that you always get first place in exams. It's that you have a mom who loves you so much. You won. I'll take the loss gracefully. When I left the hospital, I left a peeled apple there on my way out. In September, I got on a flight to the UK. At my old high school, a huge photo of me and the principal is posted at the gate. The banner above the school entrance is still up, celebrating me going to study at Oxford. All those voices that doubted and mocked me finally turned into praise and admiration. And my mom, after raising me all by herself, until I grew up, she finally has her own life now. She signed up for a senior tour group and started traveling around the country with her friends. This is the start of a brand new life.